To proceed with this class, what we have to do is to consider the organization of your work. In any graphic design endeavor, you have to be organized and categorized, and therefore what we have to think about our work is compartmentalizing it, putting it in certain folders so that these folders are easy to find, easy to access, and you will always be able to find your work easily. Because the talent and the skill is good, but the speed is also key in creating a lot of this work. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by creating a folder. You can see there's my arrow right there in the middle of the screen. And I'm going to create a folder by hitting Shift-Command-N. Always use your key commands, and there it is. There is our folder. I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to name it, and I want you to name this as well, VIS236 space Fall 2020. And there you have it. You open it up, and you can see it's an empty folder. However, on the left over here, you've got all that stuff which is just clutter. So what you need to do is get rid of it by hitting Option-Command-T, and you can see it disappears. Option-Command-T. Think of it as Option-Command-Tidy, because it tidies things up. So there you have your master folder, and this is the folder that's going to hold all of your work for the rest of the semester for this one particular class. So here we go. Now I'm going to click right here inside, and I'm going to create another folder. Now remember, it's Shift-Command-N, and there it is, Untitled Folder. And with this, what I want to do is name this VIS236 space templates. All right, so there it is. Now, I'm not going to do anything with this right now. I'd like you to just keep it there, floating inside of your master folder, VIS236 templates. We'll get to there later in this class. So now, what we're going to do is create yet another folder, Command-Shift-N. And there you have Untitled Folder again. And what we're going to do is we're going to call this one VIS236 space class -01. All right, no spaces there. So now we have this folder. Let's open it. And since we hit Command-Shift-T, it's already tidied up for us. We'll put that over there so we can see it. All right, so there you have class 01. Now inside of this folder, we're going to create more folders. Shift-Command-N, Untitled Folder. We're going to call this one Links. That's all we're going to call it. Let's create another one. Shift-Command-N. We're going to call this one Fonts. Shift-Command-N. We're going to call this one, let's call it Old Designs. It's fine. One more, Shift-Command-N, and we're going to call that PDFs. As simple as that. So class-01 has 4 folders within it. Now what I'm going to do is close this. Simple enough. We're in a good place now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight that and hit Command-D, and you've got class 01 copy. And all I'm going to do is highlight it, the 01 copy. Let's highlight the 01 copy, there we go, and make it class 2. And look at that. Now we have everything set up for us. Now let's do it again. Command-D, and we're going to highlight that and make it class 3. Let's do one more. Class Command-D, and there is class 4. Simple, simple as that. Okay, that is going to be our naming convention for the folders. Now what I'm going to do is just create a very simple InDesign folder. So let's go to InDesign right here. We'll open it up and I'm going to hit Create New. All right, don't mind my work there. And there it is, the old 8.5 by 11, which is here in picas. I'm going to change it to inches, 8.5 by 11, and I'm going to create. All right, so there we have this work. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to File, Save As, and every InDesign file will be saved like this. Let's go to the desktop, which is where we are, and I'm going to go to VIS236 Fall 2020. That is our master file, and I am going to go to class 01 like so, and here you can see my InDesign file, but I'm not going to design anything. This is really just for naming test purposes only. So there you have Untitled 1. Never, ever, ever save your work as untitled. It will just mess you up. What I'd like you to do is save it. And remember, we're in VIS 236 class 01. You are now going to save this file as VIS 236, and then it's space, or should I say dash, and it's going to be project -01. And then you're going to save it like so. And we're going to click out. Let's click out again. And let's look in class 01, and you'll see there is our InDesign file, VIS 236 project1.indd, InDesign document. I'm going to open this up again, and let's pretend that I've created this beautiful work of art. Typography to VIS 236. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to center it. I'm going to make it big, like so. And let's get it centered. And I'm going to, you can see up here, you've got the little asterisk before the project. That means you haven't saved it. So I'm going to save it by hitting Command S. I will ask you to please not use these menu items as much as you can. Use key commands instead, because the key commands will make you quick and it'll give you the edge over the other designers that are competing in the job market. Like for instance, up here, if you wanted to find out the key commands, up there you'll see Command T for character. Let's go to Edit. Cut is Command X. Copy is Command C. Paste is Command V. If you don't know your key commands, try to learn 1 or 2 a day and you'll remember them forever. You'll find key commands in the course information section of Blackboard. So let's go back to Project 01. I think this looks pretty good, but what I want to do is I want to change it. So I'm going to pick another font. So let's pick Carousel, which is kind of a fun font. All right, so I'm going to make it a little smaller. And now I don't want to lose my old work, VIS 236 Project 01. Notice the asterisk is there. If I hit Command S, that means the Carousel font will override the previous font and there will only be one version. So now what I'm going to do is go to Save As, and I'm going to rename this VIS 236 Project-02, and I'm going to save it. Let's click out. Let's click out of there, and you'll see that within class 01, I have Project 01, which is the type in this beautiful serif face. And if we click on number 2, we have this in the more fun carousel font. So those are your naming conventions that we are going to be following through with this class for the rest of the semester. Please use these naming conventions exactly. Again, after the class is over, you can certainly develop your own, but this is what I would like you to work with, and that way we'll both be speaking the same language when you need to access your work. Once again, you will find a sheet in the course information called Filing and Naming Conventions, and you can download it, print it out, and you will always have this to work with. There you go.